All right, welcome back to Trading Rolly. Wild start to the 2021 year for cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin hitting all-time highs. We hit about 34,000. Ethereum over 1,000. We've seen altcoins pumping. Are we seeing the beginning of altcoin season? We'll take a look at lots of charts today. Skip the headlines, stick to the TA, hit that like for me, comment, subscribe, tick the bell for notifications. As always, these are my own ideas and opinions on the market, so please do your own research and trade at your own risk. I am not your financial advisor. Let's take a look at the market. Bitcoin did have that drop, almost down 10% at one point. Now, only 4% down in the last 24 hours, but Ethereum up 11%. Then you saw Stellar on some good news. We'll skip the headlines for today. I really want to get into the charts, but Ukraine central bank digital currency will be built on the Stellar blockchain technology. So you're seeing a nice increase in price here. And guys, in the bull market, good news about altcoin projects, whether it's a mainnet launch, an airdrop, or it's a collaboration with some type of company. That's usually going to push the price up on good news in a bull market. So look out for those. Otherwise, it was interesting to see Bitcoin dump hard and all the altcoins really maintain their value, but the altcoins have been lagging, and we've been looking at that. We'll take a look at the Bitcoin dominance, all right? Just 1 second. Crypto Fear and Greed Index still at a 93. We've been at the extreme greed level for months now. No surprise there. Altcoin season. So the lower that this number is, the more that Bitcoin is leading the show. As this number increases to the right, altcoins are taking the charge, and we have seen an uptick on the altcoin season, altcoin month. And basically, the altcoin season is the last 90 days. You can see which altcoins have outperformed Bitcoin in the last 90 days. Just a handful, not many. More in the last 30 days, though, okay? And, even more in the last year. But still, Bitcoin has been the dominant leader. So we'll watch this. We're down in the Bitcoin season. We're getting a bounce here. So if this graph starts, or the chart starts rising, you're going to see the altcoins really doing well. I've talked about on Twitter at Trading Rolly, a simple strategy is when Bitcoin is dominating, you can ride that Bitcoin wave. And once you've hit some targets you've been watching for, maybe prices overextended, overbought, you can move some of those profits into the lagging altcoins and then watch the altcoins rally hard. And then when the altcoin season peaks, you can move some of the altcoin profits back to Bitcoin. They kind of move in cycles. So that's just a simple strategy you can follow. Easier said than done, but it's probably one of the easier strategies, I would say, as well. All right, so looking at the Bitcoin dominance, we can see we hit 2019 highs here as far as dominance, up around 73, almost 74% Bitcoin. And we were high on that daily Stoke, daily RSI. It went a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but we got that correction on the dominance. You can see the Stoke coming down. The RSI was rejected. A couple of red candles on the daily, and the altcoins pumped. I personally had moved some of my Bitcoin profits over to Ethereum, down at 640, even in the 700s, over 1,000 now. Litecoin, I had moved some in there before Litecoin rallied. Cardano, Polkadot, all of these coins have jumped. So those profits, instead of moving them to the bank account or just sitting in Bitcoin, moved to altcoins, and they're rallying. So I'm happy with that. And how did we know that it might be a good time? Well, for one, the dominance, Bitcoin dominance was high, looking for a correction eventually. Bitcoin had been going on a tear while the alts were just watching, and usually Bitcoin will lead the show, then the major altcoins, then maybe some mid caps, DeFi, low caps. It's just a cycle like that. And if you looked at the ETH BTC pair on the daily, we could see that the daily was very low on the Stoch, your RSI was low. So this is an opportunity to move BTC into ETH. And then Ethereum will go on a nice little rally. And once Ethereum BTC pair tops out and you see the Stoch cross down on like the daily or something like that, maybe you move some of your Ethereum into Bitcoin. Just an idea. You know, Ethereum is a long hold for me, so I'm not necessarily looking to move all profits from Ethereum to Bitcoin. But say, for example, a coin like YFI, you know, something like Aave, something like KSM. I don't know. So just these random altcoins. When those altcoins double, triple, and they do it real quick, you know, the faster they go up, the harder they can fall sometimes. We saw that with GRT, for example. When something like GRT goes up like that, you need to take some profits off the table. You know, if it's a slow build, I have more faith in it, you know, having longevity moving up. But when they shoot up, I want to take some profits because I know it might crash hard at some point, and you can always get back in lower. So when you see maybe a pair like, you know, say you're seeing ZRX, OMG, those, once they start peaking, you can take those profits, move it to Bitcoin, all right? Because we know Bitcoin is going to be the safest play in the long haul. And for me, let's get to the Bitcoin chart and we'll get back to some altcoins, USD pairs, all right? So I wanted to talk about that. Good, moving on. So let's look at the Bitcoin chart, see what happened, and we'll get to those alts because I know that's what people are interested in. Bitcoin on the weekly, above all moving averages. We did have that dip, but look at that bounce. I mean, that's a beautiful bounce. The bulls are buying up anything. Grayscale in December, they purchased 3 times more than the amount of newly mined Bitcoin. There's just not enough newly mined Bitcoin to go around. And that's Grayscale alone. That's not including PayPal gobbling everything up and then all these other investors buying it all up. So, and I don't want to get rid of my Bitcoin. I mean, I might move some profits into altcoins, and I think that's because the altcoins will rise as well in the long term. But I'm in the buy the dip position for a year. If Bitcoin is in a cycle, which Bitcoin has been moving in these cycles, obviously, you know, if this isn't your first time watching a TA, you know this, but you had a bull run, consolidation, bear market, a bull run, consolidation, bear market, and now breaking out, identical. This cycle from here to here, from all-time high to break the all-time high, lasted exactly 3 years, and you had 1 year rally after breaking that. This lasted exactly 3 years, so if the cycle continues, we have a full year. So every dip I am buying, I'm not, you know, if it drops 5%, I don't have to buy it. You know, but I'm saying if we have any like kind of correction, and you do get some corrections after being completely overextended, and this is a weekly chart, so that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 week correction. These are the dips you want to be buying, something like that, something significant, not just a tiny little move. Significant where you feel it's a 30% down, 20% down. If you get that opportunity, it's a good opportunity to get Bitcoin at a discount. If it just keeps going up and you didn't buy in, well, at least you're profiting still, all right? You're not waiting on the sidelines, okay? I don't want to be selling everything and then waiting way down here and then not being able to jump in. I'm primarily always going to be in my positions. I don't want to miss the boat. I want to stay in Bitcoin. Even not selling is a position, okay? Holding USD is a position. Holding Bitcoin is a position. So guys, I don't want to be necessarily getting out. And when I'm taking profits, I'm skimming like a 2%, 5% of my Bitcoin profits, you know, something like that moving to altcoins. I don't want to sell out too much because this could just keep going. Markets can stay irrational longer than investors or traders can stay solvent, okay? Yes, this is ridiculous, but that's what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin is on a moon mission, and the moon boys are back. People are buying Bitcoin for the first time at 30,000, and they're happy. 20,000 is supposed to be cheap now if we do come back down there. All right. I know I'm just throwing a lot of different ideas out there, but you got to think about what is your plan moving forward this year. And my plan, as I've outlined, is when Bitcoin is leading the show, move some profits to altcoins. When altcoins peak, move some of those profits to Bitcoin. If there's any large dips, add more cash into Bitcoin, or if it's like Ethereum, something like that. So your weekly above all moving averages, bullish. Start on the weekly. Are you above all your moving averages? Bull market. Simple enough. Your Stoke is high. Your RSI is high. So we did see a little bit of a pullback now. Is that the beginning of a short-term trend for January? It's possible. We saw the stock market had a pretty bad day today. Maybe some, 2021, it's a new tax season, some profit taking. Maybe they didn't want to take any more profits on the 2020 tax season for whatever purpose, And today was their first opportunity. You also have the Georgia runoff tomorrow. You have this, Trump January 6th. It's going to be wild. Who knows what's going to happen? There's just uncertainty, with politics, the COVID variant. There are a lot of uncertainties going on right now. So if there's a major market shift there, could it drag some crypto? Who knows? Bitcoin's doing its own thing. You have to keep all of these on your radar. But for now, this is what I'm looking at. Pullback. If you do pull back, you can see the RSI should bounce in the neutral zone. Okay, let's go down to the daily. You do have your Stokes crossed down. We're watching this, but anyone who's calling for bear divergence on the daily and was trying to short got wrecked. Bear divergence in a bull market is not as strong of a signal as bullish divergence in a bull market. Okay. So that's why I'm not trying to short. I'm just trying to dollar cost average, at least for the next 6 months, at least. Maybe we hit the peak of this cycle in December, and then we have another consolidation, something like that. But I feel confident for the next month. Okay, your support: pink 10 simple 29,755. Yellow 21 EMA 27,137. All right. Going down to the 4-hour, your Stoke coming down, but you're getting, so you've got that big bounce, and this was a pretty bullish bounce. Closed back above the yellow 21 EMA, a couple 4-hour candles back above the yellow 21 EMA. Presently, a little rejection from the pink 10 simple. Let's see if we can close above that on a 4-hour basis. 32,378. Get a close above 32,379, 380, let's call it, and you could see that bounce with the Stoke crossing back up as well. All right. Otherwise, a rejection here, and if you close below yellow 21 EMA 31,673, a close below that, this would be putting in lower highs, and then your next support would be 29,594. And you can see, as long as you maintain that on the 4-hour, this uptrend is still intact. Until we lose those levels, I don't want to talk about too much downside because the momentum is still up. But 20K would be the worst case scenario on the table now, and that's just where we flipped the all-time high resistance. We were able to flip that resistance right here. You saw that was resistance. You consolidated there, and you did break out above. So worst case scenario, maybe you come back down and retest it and find support. But that's already from current price. That's about a 40% drop. Okay, so maybe you can see there was a resistance level here. There was that little consolidation. That is around 24,000. Drop from the top to 24,000 would be about 30%. Okay, so maybe that 24,000 would be a reasonable shakeout. It would be if you didn't already get shaken out right here. Okay, so far just a shakeout, but we did say what called the 2019 top was when everything heated up and you're getting candles to both directions. But you also have this here. So this was a massive shakeout and then just a big bounce and then continued higher. Trend is still up though. Trend is still up. I wouldn't be betting against Bitcoin. So moving on, going over to Ethereum. Ethereum bullish candles breaking above that 800 target. So we had a resistance level previous peak here and just blasted through that 800 level on large volume. That's exactly what you wanted to see to confirm breaking that level. Could it come back? Could we retest that as support? It's possible. I don't think you would go below 800 if this bull market is to continue. I'd like to see 800 hold as support. And ultimately, we're on a moon mission to 1400. That was the all-time high. And I don't see why not. If Bitcoin has surpassed its all-time high, I don't see why Ethereum cannot as well. And the institutions are warming up to Bitcoin, and the next one they're warming up to is Ethereum. So, if you're buying and holding as an investment and you see that this year is going to be a good year, just look for dips. Just look for dips to buy. Look for maybe a 4-hour time frame crosses up on the stochastic, something like that. You can look for when stochastics get low. That's a good buying opportunity. When your RSI stochastics are low. On the daily, you're going to maintain in a bull market. It's often going to maintain that neutral zone on the daily. So maybe you look for a cross up on the stoch and a bounce from the neutral zone on RSI to buy in on that bull rally. Look, those are the type of dips that I'm looking for on the daily charts. Weekly if you can get it, but right now we're moving up. Looking at the weekly Ethereum chart, also pretty high on that RSI though. So do we tag that 1400 all-time high first and then get a little bit of a pullback, or do we retest 800, get a bounce, and then march up higher? Either way, I think if you bought here later this year, the price will be higher. So depends, how good of an entry you're looking for. But if you're buying as an investor, I think just dollar cost average, you're good. Obviously, if you're trading lower time frames, it's going to be a bit trickier, especially with crypto. It's very volatile. All right, so let's look at Litecoin. Well, using my indicators, where we daily is cross down on Ethereum on the daily, and you are well above all those moving averages, coming up to meet that 800 level. So yeah, I stand with my statements. 4-hour support. It consolidated, and it's looking to close another 4-hour body above this level. It's bullish. So your pink 10 simple rising with support all the way at 1,000 as well. So 4 hours still above all moving averages. You're still bullish until you start closing candles at least below 1,000. 4-hour candle body close below 1,000. And then you have support here though at 920. So maybe you don't get down to 800. Let's just look at Litecoin. Litecoin, we were looking at the 140 level, consolidated under 140 and breaking above it, retested it, and you got that daily 10 simple rising support, now 140. Previous resistance, you can see that on the weekly chart real quick. No, we want that. You had the previous peak, and then when we approached that previous peak on the daily, had some rejections, finally broke it, retest, bounce. So 140 is key level for Litecoin to hold. And then ultimately, I don't see why Litecoin doesn't hit its all-time high as well in 2021. It doesn't have to happen immediately. And look, yes, I know this is a ridiculous rally, but look what happened March 2017 to December. I'm just drag it over here so I can see. Sometimes it's always difficult when I'm trying to find this. But look at that. That's from March 2017 to December. So in about 9 months, you had a 1,000% profit, 1,000% increase. I got to drag it all the way over there to see it. Wait, that's not 1,000. Guys, that's 10,000. 10,000% increase. 10,000% in 9 months. So yes, this is ridiculous. But when crypto is bullish, sometimes even the TA gets thrown out the window. All right. That's why we can look at these charts and find opportunities to buy the dips. But the real thing here is Bitcoin is in early stage adoption. Most people still don't own it. Just now the institutions are getting on board. This is going to be an amazing asset for many years to come. This year specifically will be, I think, a bull run. Yes, you'll get a pullback and consolidation over time, and then the cycle repeats. But that's why, if you were just like looking at overbought, looking at Stokes crossing down, you would have jumped ship so many times. Obviously, at some point, you do have to exit. So you do have to have an idea of, skimming profits, have some larger targets. If you put in $1,000 and it becomes 4,000, at least take your 1,000 out. Maybe you take 2,000 out. You take out your initial investment, you doubled your money, and then you have, an extra 2,000 just to run in case it goes up another 10x, something like that. Just have some type of plan, because the charts aren't going to really help you when we're on a rocket ship, and it's just sit tight. There's going to be volatility, but sit tight. All right. XLM, suffered because of the XRP. It moves a lot with the XRP. We all know about the XRP drama. Nice bounce here. Previous resistance, flip support. And this is on Ukraine using this technology in the future. So maybe some other countries are going to use Stellar as well. Like I said, good news, can pump the price. Nice daily Stoke cross up there. And maybe you can, 22 cents resistance is the level to break. Cardano breaking out. So we were looking at 18 cents resistance. Rejected. Consolidation. Breaking above. And we've been talking about this for a while. Finally broke this resistance level, and we're looking at this previous peak here around 38 cents. Does this happen immediately? No way for me to know that. But once you break one level, the next level becomes a target, and I don't see why we don't hit 38 cents eventually. I trust a lot of the majors. Of course, you're going to have a lot more gains in some of the lower cap coins. For example, something like REN. Let's take a look at. REN has a pretty low market cap. I don't know it off the top, but looking at REN daily, you're in an uptrend here. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, consolidating sideways. I'd like to see it break that level here, break this level, and continue an uptrend of higher highs, higher lows. So what I like to do is I allocate my crypto kind of based on market cap. So Bitcoin having the largest market cap, I have the highest allocation. Ethereum would be second. Then Polkadot, Cardano, Link, Litecoin, those would be the next group. And then, I have like mid caps where YFI, Uniswap, and then I'm looking for under, 200 million, 100 million. Those are going to be the lowest allocations because they're, for me, the riskiest, but they have a lot of potential for upside. So even though it's a small allocation, if it achieves that dream moonshot that, some people are certain this is 100x. I don't know. If it does hit that, I'll still make a lot of money even on a small allocation. That's just how I'm playing it, not financial advice. But the weekly chart, let's just go rifle through some on the weekly just to get a good idea. We'll throw on the moving averages and rifle through some. So REN here, consolidating sideways pattern on the weekly, looks like a potential bull flag on a macro pattern. So a symmetrical triangle, you can see that, which in an uptrend is typically a continuation pattern. So break that symmetrical triangle, your stoke is rising on the weekly, looks good. The Decentraland, somewhat similar. I do like it's flipping this top potential resistance level flipped as support, so you want to stay above that, rise higher. Your stoke though, possible cross down, so you do need to maintain that level around 8 cents. You are below, so not as bullish as what this looks like potentially, but people like Decentraland as like a NFT virtual reality type play. GRT, not a lot of price history here. The daily still under that pink 10 simple. You want to at least get back above that pink 10 simple on the daily. It's around 34 cents. Let's see. Aave breaking out above. You had $93 horizontal resistance, breaking above that. Could eventually flip it as support if it retests down. You are looking at a nasty little wick there. We'll have to see. The daily candle just started, but your daily stoke's still rising. I do like that volume break above and in an uptrend. Okay, Filecoin is rough, below all moving averages, losing support levels. This was hopefully a support level around $25, $26. So I don't see an uptrend here. So this one could keep drooping. I mean, there's this one, Cello, that just goes lower and lower and lower. So not all coins are made the same. All right. And these are some of the lower cap ones. Like I said, the majors have been doing well. But after the majors perform, people will be looking for coins that haven't moved much. And then maybe you'll see those. But what happens usually with these low caps that no one's really interested in, they have a big pop and then sell off. That's why you have pump and dumps. The low caps that haven't moved in a while, they'll pump and then they'll sell right back down. Let's scroll through. Let's see. OMG's up. OMG on the daily. Stoke rising, back above all moving averages. You want to see this trend continue to stay above all the moving averages on the daily. Weekly getting a bounce off that blue 50 simple. Get a weekly back above all moving averages. Get this stoke to start rising. And maybe we can see OMG get a bit of a rally. So you're starting to see the coins that weren't moving at all. EOS still trending sideways on the weekly. Nothing special here. Got to break at least $4. Start putting in an uptrend. Otherwise, you still got lower highs on the macro there. Cosmos rising on the weekly. Stokes. Let me close this out. So closed back above all moving averages, retested and bounced on the weekly. Your daily needs to maintain above all those moving averages, and you're going to need to break this resistance level. I can see it right there. Yeah, so need to get back above. Cosmos needs to get back above $6.25. It's maintaining the support channel. These are just some levels of interest. If you can get back above 625, maybe a resistance level around 780. Uniswap. So this broke out, and you can see previous coins that are lagging, they were stuck under horizontal levels, right? And then you saw Aave finally broke its horizontal. Uni was consolidating under $4.23, and then finally, after breaking above that level, hit that peak there, backed off, bounced, now closing candles on a daily above this level at 518. So next level up, $7 if we can continue this. But putting in on a higher high, higher low, higher high. If you do come back again down here, hopefully a higher low, and then higher high. We're looking for uptrends and looking to buy dips. All right. We don't want to chase when they're all the way up. It's more risky. If you're buying something that's already all the way up, be prepared for some downside. So don't go all the way in. It would have been better to buy some down here, right? All right. And YFI looked like it wanted to break out. This was, I like that the downtrend was broken there. You got a nice daily close above. We were looking good yesterday, then Bitcoin crashed, kind of ruined it. But if Bitcoin can stay stable, YFI might get another attempt back at this resistance level around 28,000. Your daily stoke crossed up, looks good. So when I'm looking to, add into positions, I want to see that the daily is crossing up from the bottom. Maybe you hit oversold territories and you're rising. I don't like to add to my positions when they're way up and crossing down. All right. If they continue to rise, awesome. I continue to profit. I don't need to chase it. All right. That's just my strategy. So hopefully it can continue higher there. I think eventually it will. A lot of these coins like this, I think eventually you go higher. When? I don't know. But eventually. So, just be nimble, Don't get crazy. Build positions for this year. Polkadot, so broke this resistance level we were watching at 634. If you come back down, flip it as resistance. Blue sky breakout, putting in all-time highs. I don't have any other previous price history to have a target to the upside. But you can see you are putting in an uptrend here, and we all know Polkadot's one of the most hyped coins, and hype in a bull market will do very well. And lots of room to go. It's under $10. People are calling for 100. So I'm bullish on Polkadot. KSM to finish it up. It's already 33 minutes. KSM had resistance at $62, and we'd like to see it flip that. If it does come back down, bounce again, putting in higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So you can see the general pattern. We're looking for uptrends. We're looking for resistance to flip as support. And we're looking for good opportunities like this to get into positions. Something like that. This is where people are taking profits. It comes down. It bounces. That's where you get back in. Or add to a position if you're holding. All right. Hope this has been helpful. And guys, just be patient. Look for good opportunities. If you believe Bitcoin is going to 200,000 or higher, competing with gold, which has a $9 trillion market cap, Bitcoin has a long ways to go to the upside, and most of these altcoins are going to follow. Most of them. Ethereum still pushing up. 1,100, going for that $1,400 target. Feels good. The crypto portfolio is up pretty good. Pretty good. But when you start feeling really good, You will get a kick in the ass, but you can't panic. Now is not the time to panic. Now is the time to add to your positions. All right. I repeat it. I haven't said anything bearish in so long, and I'm happy. I'm happy. So guys, hope everyone else is making good money. Don't act on your emotions. Act rationally. And if you can't sleep at night, maybe you have too much on the table. All right. You don't want to risk it all. We're not gambling here. We're not gambling. We're trying to invest in digital currencies, something for the future. All right. This is an investment. Look at it that way. And I think your strategy will change up a little bit. All right. That's enough for me. I'm out. Hit that like one last time. Rolly roll.